Father and Scout is fabulous. I thoroughly enjoyed this. This was released in 1994. It's directed by Richard Michaels. It's written by Sheldon Bull and Hoyt Hilsman, with a cast including Bob Saget, Brian Bonsall, and various others. And I wanted to watch this for Bob Saget, and I'm really pleased I had a reason to watch it. It's about a camping trip between father and son, and it doesn't necessarily go according to plan, with plenty of comedic mishaps. It's a class father and son trip, so it's not just the two characters, it's not just Spencer and Michael together. There are loads of other characters, which definitely helps make it more engaging because there's always something happening. And things start to go wrong for them basically as soon as they arrive. I won't say what happens, but something happens. Well, something happens to Spencer's trousers, I'll leave it at that. And basically from that point, it was a very chaotic and unpredictable trip for father and son. Really, really great pacing, good fun, plenty of activity. There are no locations listed on IMDb at the time of recording, but if anybody knows where it was filmed, please do let me know. The scenery outdoors is absolutely gorgeous. As for the characters, I loved Michael. I thought Michael was a brilliant protagonist with a great attitude. He was fabulous. Spencer, not so much. Now, I'm not saying I hated the character, I'm not saying I didn't like watching the character, and I don't necessarily like seeing Bob Saget playing an annoying character, but the problem with Spencer, and obviously this is part of the narrative, part of him learning to actually see things differently, bond with his son, have a different perspective, but he just had a snide remark about absolutely everything, and it was so clear that this was bothering Michael and making Michael uncomfortable or embarrassed, because his father would just have a ridiculous retort to everything. And he wasn't being malicious, he wasn't mean, it was just his attitude. I'd like to say maybe it's his way of kind of trying to make himself feel more comfortable in an uncomfortable situation. It's clear that he's a little bit out of his depth being on this father-son trip with all the other parents. That's my reading of the situation anyway. But it just, every time he said something, I just kept thinking, do you not see how this is making your son feel? And again, that's the point, or at least part of the point of the narrative. So it's not a criticism. In fact, it's doing what it's meant to do. But that really, really did annoy me. Not that there's no character development, certainly, but it took a while for me to like Spencer. But never mind. It's certainly point of the film, and I think they did that very, very well. Very well written characters. Most of them are likable, and we do get some character development. Great music, great camera work and lighting. It's a fun, easy watch with some really solid takeaways about father-son relationships, about having a helpful versus unhelpful attitude, and about looking at things differently. And visually, it's beautiful. So I had a lot of fun with it. I thought Father and Scout was a really solid experience. I wouldn't watch it again in a hurry, but I certainly wouldn't mind watching it again at some point. And if it sounds like a film for you, then I'd say Father and Scout is definitely worth watching.